We've been together for 3 years. We've been together for 3 years. So bloody what? Guys, this guy is cheating on this girl. Nobody can tell me anything. Nobody can tell me anything. Where Paul was trying to stop Choma from using her social media, which is the same place that he met her. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time stopping by, my name is Uche. Why don't you join the community by clicking the subscribe button right there on your screen. We discuss everything in this channel, from beauty to hairstyle, makeup, lifestyle, finance, gossip. Every single thing you can think of is covered right here, so you're in the right place. Use that subscribe button and don't forget to give this video the thumbs up if you eventually like it. Guys, I want to react to this viral video that has been making its way around the internet for like 2 weeks now. I'm even a bit late because it started buzzing on the internet like 2 weeks ago. Guys, if you have watched it, it's called Blue Therapy. If you have watched it, let me know in the comment section what you think about it. But if you have not seen it, I'm sure after this video, after the clips I'm going to be showing you, you're definitely going to be running to go and see it, because so I just started 2 days ago. It's like, it has like 7 episodes to the best of my knowledge. I'm still in episode 2 and my brain is already doing like this. So I just want to react on the 2 episodes that I've already seen, because I don't understand. You know, one thing I'm going to say is that Paul is cheating on Choma. You cannot tell me anything. Even if he's not cheating on her yet, if it continues the way it's going right now, he's definitely going to be cheating on her. That's my verdict. You know what? Let me just show you guys the beginning of the clip so that you guys can get acquainted with the 2 couples. They're actually 2 couples, Choma and Paul, and there is Jamal and Deborah. I don't even know which of them is crazier, whether it's Paul and Choma or Jamal and Deborah. But if I'm to like rate them, I think Paul and Choma are crazier. Like, you can't tell me nothing. So let me just quickly show you guys the beginning of the clip so you can get yourself acquainted, okay?
Oh God, time.
Myself and my boyfriend have been going through a lot lately. This is the last leg for us. We're really hanging in our relationship. I've seen an opportunity for a social experiment, and I think that it's best we both come here and get some help.
You made me wanna melt.
I've been with my partner for 3 years now. Just like everyone else, we've had our ups and downs.
Okay, I'm just going to pause that right here. So they've been together for 3 years. I need you guys to remember that, because I feel like that milestone is what Paul keeps, you know, latching on when he's trying to make his judgment, which to me is really stupid. But I just wanted you guys to pick that point where he keeps saying, oh, we've been together for 3 years. Throughout the episodes, he repeated that point like 5 times, and never for once did I hear Choma repeat that. So I feel like that is what he's latching on to make his judgment and to rubbish this whole therapy session. I just wanted you guys to take note of that point. Okay, let's continue watching.
You know, things happen, but coming to therapy with a camera for some social experiment, that's just, it's a red flag, to be fair. And now, like, she knows my perspective on this. I'd prefer we go to a church and we sit down with a pastor in a corner. But, you know, us getting to this extent where we're actually here for a social experiment, it's just, it doesn't make sense. I think it's gonna go south, like, I'm 90% sure, but at the end of the day, I'll just say, look, I told you so.
So I'm just going to give you guys a quick rundown, aka summary, of what this session is all about. So there are 2 couples that similarly have issues in their relationships, and they are willing to work it out. Well, not the both of them, because with Paul and Choma, it was Choma that wanted the therapy session. She was the one that reached out to the therapist and cajoled Paul to come along. And for Deborah and Jamal, it was Jamal that wanted the therapy and he was able to convince Deborah to come along with him. Okay, Choma and Paul have been together for 3 years. They've obviously been growing together, but what I feel like is wrong with the relationship is that there was a disconnect, and Choma wasn't evolving as fast as Paul was, and now Paul feels like Choma is, dragging him down and sort of like rubbishing the image he feels he might have created for himself. You guys will see. And then for Jamal and Deborah, in the beginning, we felt like Deborah was a spoiled brat. She wanted everything. She calls herself a princess, and that she believes that as a girl in a relationship, your man is supposed to do everything for you, take you to vacations, buy you expensive things, do whatever that you want, literally do your bidding. That is her idea of being in a relationship. Well, I was with Jamal in the first 2 episodes, but I heard that from the 3rd episode the game changed, and the dirty parts, or rather the dirty side of Jamal started coming out. So I cannot wait to see what the episode 3 is going to say, but I just want to react on this episode 1 and 2. Let's watch some clips, okay?
But at the end of the day, we're progressing in our relationship, and I'm not entirely happy.
Okay, so Paul, thank you for joining us. Have you got any idea of what expectations you are looking to get out of this therapy session?
I have no idea. I'm curious to find out.
Okay.
Guys, I just want you guys to know that Paul was so uncooperative throughout this therapy session. I think at the middle of episode 2, probably when he got agitated and angry, he started loosening up and saying some things. But in this episode 1, he was just being an asshole. He had his guards up like heavy metal bars, like anything the therapist. First of all, he disrespected the therapist. He wasn't going to let her talk to him because he feels like he doesn't know her. I don't know. I'm going to also say this. I've seen in the internet where people say that this show is scripted. I don't think this show is scripted, because I've seen men like Paul. I've actually dated a man like Paul before, and they're real. They are narcissistic, egoistic, everything stick men like that. I feel like they're not doing anything wrong, that the only thing they have to bring to a relationship is money, and as a girl you have to get with the program, that it should be enough. Their love language is just providing. At some point the therapist asked him what he does for a living, and this guy here said he's a provider. How is that your occupation? How's that your job? How's your job being a provider? Come on.
Know you from anywhere, but you're here. Let's have the conversation, right? So when we first started dating, she was happy with, the drive, the ambition, me taking, calculated risk here and there and gaining rewards. She's the first person to come and, say, oh, congratulations, babe, let's celebrate together. But then I've actually kept the same energy, and now it seems like she doesn't really have the same energy. So who is the person that's falling off?
Okay, so in other words, I'm a hater.
Well,
because I still
Guys, if you can remember from the beginning of the video where I said with Paul and Choma that there was a disconnect, this is what I meant. When I watched this part of their therapy session, I realized that, so in the beginning of their relationship, I feel like Paul was this high driven, hustler, and that was what he was and how he was when Choma met him. And the adrenaline that comes with setting very high goals and acing it, Choma was enjoying the ride at that point. So now that Paul feels like, oh, I'm done with this level, I need to take it up a notch, and to take it up a notch I have to fake it till I make it. That's where the disconnect came through, because Choma feels like, oh, you don't necessarily need to fake it till you make it. I'm not comfortable with that ingenuity. But Paul says, well, this is what you have to do in the industry to make it. And that's where I feel like there was a disconnect. Well, now Paul is moving faster than Choma, and why do I keep calling her Choma? Faster than Choma. Paul is moving faster than Choma. Guys, I'm going to say this. I'm not a relationship expert or a relationship therapist or whatever type of therapist at all. But I'm going to say this. We all know that relationship is hard. That's why a lot of it don't work, even though there are some that do work. But we have certified the fact the relationship is hard. So if you want to make it work with your partner, you have to either follow each other, or one person keeps following the other person. I don't care. It's not my relationship. I'm just saying things that I feel like would make relationships work. Because now Choma doesn't want to go meet Paul on his fake it till you make it life, and Paul doesn't want Choma to drag him back to where he's already left, because it feels like he's already done with that level and he wants to go up there. So it's either they both break up, or the both of them have to come together and figure out how to meet each other in the middle. That's the only way this thing is going to work. Because if it continues the way it's going right now, let's keep watching.
No, that's true. But the only thing is, let me give you an example, right? So literally, I have access to a good number of private members clubs. This is through the clients of mine. I train high net worth individuals, celebrities, you name it. Now, with these membership clubs,
guys, I don't even know how Choma is able to keep a straight face with all this chat. This guy is here chatting, because it's one thing to be with a very high opinionated or strong personality man, but it's also another thing to be with somebody that has such a huge ego like Paul. Someone that brags a lot about their status or whatever. I know for one that I cannot stand it. I don't know how my babe Choma is able to stand it. I don't know if this is a new behavior, if this is one of the problems she's having right now, if this wasn't how Paul was when they started their relationship. I don't know, but I definitely cannot stand this. Ugh. My pet peeve, someone that brags. Let's just pause on Paul and Choma's drama for a bit and dive into Deborah and Jamal's drama. Watch.
So I'm on my way for this social experiment, and I'm quite excited. I'm happy that Jamal is using this initiative and wants us to be part of this. There's a few things that I do want to get off my chest, so it will be nice to speak to Jamal, speak to the therapist, and I'm excited.
Deborah, did you travel far?
I didn't actually. I live in Highbury, Islington, so it was not too bad of a journey, just about 20 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
So my partner's running late, I apologise.
Whose idea to come to the session was it?
It was Jamal's idea, but I'm open to it. I'm excited. I want to see where we can take our relationship, because we are, we've been together a year now. So I don't actually understand how Jamal.
So a rundown on these two people's relationship. They've been together for just a year. This is Deborah's first relationship, or rather first serious relationship, and this should be Jamal's third or fourth relationship. I'm not sure. When you watch it, you can get the correct information. But Jamal was the one that wanted this therapy session, because he feels like Deborah is a bit overbearing with her expectations of him, and as he said, he's been to therapy before and it's worked, so he feels like it would do some good for him and Deborah's relationship. Let's skip to the juicy part.
But now
Do you think you make time for me?
Yes, I do make time for you. As I said,
I don't think he does. When we first got together, we were seeing each other up to 3 times a week. Now it's like once every 2 weeks. For me, I don't know if you want to spend time with me or not, but for me, that's like, what is the relationship if I'm going to see you once every 2 weeks? Do you get what I mean? I love quality time, and you know that.
So, I sort of agree with Deborah, because why am I in a relationship with you if we're in the same town and I'm seeing you once every 2 weeks? Guy, if I'm not seeing you every day, we're not in a relationship, we're just friends, or we're just people trying to get to know each other. Because relationships can be really tricky. Human beings can be quite adaptive. Human beings can also be very deceptive. So if you're in a city with someone and you guys say you're dating and you see him only once a week or once in 2 weeks or just on the weekends, he or she could be in their best behavior for this little time that you guys get to spend in that 1 week. But if you guys see each other every day, then you can tell for sure, well, not 100%, but at least 80% the character of whoever it is that you're with. You're not going to tell someone's character by seeing the person once a week. The person can be in their best character for that one time in a week. So I am on Deborah's side on this point, that seeing you once in 2 weeks is bullshit. Okay? Also, people have this very annoying habit of starting something at the beginning of a relationship and then waning down the energy when you feel like you and that person are in a comfortable space. That's the easiest way for a relationship to go south, in my opinion, because we cannot be seen every day at the beginning of the relationship, then suddenly you want to be seeing me once in 2 weeks. Guy, ain't nobody got time for that. I'm going to need you to keep the same energy. It's not rocket science. It's not that much of a big deal. Just keep the same energy. If you're someone that's super busy, then in the beginning of the relationship, don't make me feel like you're always available, because at some point, if you suddenly become unavailable, my head is going to interpret it that you're no longer interested in whatever it is that we had.
Just give me a little bit of your background. What business are you in?
You hear this?
Yeah, answer the question, babe.
So what does my business have to do with the relation? Just asking.
I just wondered, whether that was influencing the way
I'm
that
a
you deal
provider.
with life. Sorry?
I'm a provider.
What is it that you do? I don't.
Guy. Paul is such a funny human being. Like, I'm sure if I was Choma, I know I cannot be Choma, but let's just for example imagine that I'm Choma. I would go from being angry to this behavior, to being irritated to this behavior, then just to being downright amused, because this guy just amuses me. Like, how is being a provider in your career? Like, come on.
This is the problem that I have, right? Look, with this Denise lady, I just feel like she's just asking lots of intrusive questions that doesn't really relate to the situation at hand. She's asking me, what do I do? Like, I make money. That's what I do. Like, it's a silly question. What do you want from me? Do you understand? You're here for a certain purpose, to help with the relationship. Do that. If you can't do that, then you're not of use for me.
Guy, she's a therapist. She's trying to understand your life, to see where she can help you, make amends, or help you realize what you're doing subconsciously or unconsciously. Paul is just being defensive, because I personally don't think he's ready to work on anything. I also think, like he said, that this is a waste of his time, because you have to be willing first, and you have to be willing to accept that something is wrong before you even go to a therapist. But if you're taking someone who feels like they're not doing anything wrong to a therapist, sincerely, you're just wasting your time, because that person is just going to be on a defense all through, which is what I feel like Paul is doing.
The whole point is she's here, right? And I got her here. We've been together for 3 years.
You got me here.
No.
We've been together for 3 years. We've been together for 3 years. We've been together for 3 years. So bloody what?
Well, not here specifically, but I mean, in terms of the journey, we've been together for a long time. I've managed to sustain our relationship financially, if that's the question you're asking. Influencers, brands, yeah. More of the upscale, basically.
So you're a very busy man.
I am.
Even if there's nothing to do, Paul will tell his friends I've just done some. No, you haven't. Like, chill, relax. Like, you're not busy 24/7. Even the busiest person has time, Paul.
And do you do anything together? Any, hobbies that you do together?
Aside from on our laptops in the same room, maybe. When we started dating, we used to like the same music. He was more fun. Now I don't even know who's sitting next to me, to be honest.
And how do you feel?
I think that's BS.
It's BS.
Look, music. I'm a Burna Boy fan. You used to be, but now
I still like Burna Boy.
Wizkid. Like, that doesn't make sense. If you like something, just stick to,
First of all, you've changed, babe. You didn't like what you liked 5 years ago. I know that because of the food, simply the food that you eat. Okay, so people change. I still like Burna Boy, but I prefer Wizkid. It doesn't mean that it has to be your way. This is a problem with you. Like, if it's not your way, it's the highway.
This is the problem with you. You don't keep the same energy. Do you understand? When we first started dating, you know what type of energy I was on. Do you understand? You know the frequency that I was taking us to.
Okay, answer the question she asked us. What do we do together aside from work that is meaningful? Is that what you
Let me
said?
tell you what we do, right? Every 28 days, we have a couples review, right?
Oh,
so how
bloody
the
hell.
Couples review. That's what you guys do together for fun. Guys, this guy is cheating on this girl. Nobody can tell me anything. Nobody can tell me anything. But I feel like they're both on the wrong. Choma has obviously changed, or rather Choma is constantly changing, which I don't feel is such a bad thing, because change is one thing that is constant in this life. And that's what Paul has as a problem with her, because he wants her to keep the same energy. You know, we used to love this same thing. Let's continue loving the same thing. We used to love Burna Boy. Let's just continue loving Burna Boy. Let's not change and start loving Wizkid, which to me is stupid. But I can understand him. Like, keep the same energy. You used to love me when I was busy on the high road hustling. Now you're complaining that I'm too busy and I don't have time for us. Like I said, the both of them need to come together and sort their shit out. This is not even something that therapy can do for them in particular, because I don't think Paul is ready for therapy. Choma might be, but Paul is not. Maybe therapy might not be the best option for them. Maybe they could talk to a friend, or maybe like a spiritual counselor, like he said in the beginning of the video, is someone he feels he would be more comfortable to break down his barriers for. He's not breaking down any barriers for this therapist, because he already has like sort of like a dislike for her, so he's not even ready to break down anything to give this woman some sort of satisfaction. He's not ready to do that. So they need to figure out somewhere else to salvage this relationship, because it's not going to work here. Or I don't know what's going to happen in the other episodes. I haven't watched, but from the little I've watched,
Worked, basically, in our relationship.
It hasn't worked.
So as we said before, obviously 9 to 5, fitness guy, yeah? Okay, well, fitness instructor, brand manager, because he hates when I don't say it properly, all of that. So I have meetings all day, and so sometimes when Jamel messages me, I can't message him back as soon as. So his timetable, I'll say, it's more flexible than mine. I would message Jamel, and then he would message me back, and then, you know, I wouldn't respond in another 2 hours. And I know this guy's on his phone. Like, I literally saw him on Instagram. But because I had taken ages, because I was busy, to message him, he would basically be matching my messages and take another 2 hours to message me. That is so childish. Is that not childish?
So wait, I'm being childish.
Is that not childish? Do you or do you not match my messages?
You're assuming that I do that.
Oh, wait, hold on. Did I not see you?
with these two people, I just feel like they are being childish. Deborah is 20 or 21, and Jamal is 26 or 25, I'm not sure, but they are still pretty much young. So this whole pettiness, matching my text, I texted you, you took 5 hours to reply, and then when I replied, because I took 5 hours, you had to wait another 5 hours. Psh, these ones will be all right because they are still kids. But one thing I'm going to say with this whole comparing shit, nobody likes to be compared to anybody. If you're doing that, that can only drive envy and jealousy, and that can also drive resentment, especially when the person you're trying to compare your partner with is a friend. That can actually drive a wedge, it's sort of like a resentment wedge between your partner and that person. So it's even a no-brainer. Why would you even be comparing anybody? Even if I'm not in a relationship with you, don't compare me to anybody, because you don't know their story 100%. You definitely don't know. You only know the story they tell you. So don't use the little story they tell you to compare their life to my life. Don't do that. That's just absolutely wrong and unacceptable. Even in relationships or friendships or even family, don't compare me with anybody. And if you're the kind of person that compares, just stop that, because you're not even doing any good. Trust me, you feel like you're doing something, you're not doing nothing. I'm seeing you as foolish, because half of the time the person you're comparing me to, God help you, I know the person and I know the other part of the person that you don't know. You're just making yourself look like a fool without even knowing it. So stop that. If you compare, stop that. Guys, I don't even want this video to be too long. There are a lot of juicy part of this video that if I continue reacting to everything, this video could be an hour long. At this point, I'm going to just leave you guys to go watch the rest of the episodes. I wouldn't even be able to cover episode 2. That's how much drama was packed in episode 1. I could only cover episode 1. That's how crazy this whole thing is. I haven't even gotten to the episode 2 where Paul was trying to stop Chioma from using her social media, which is the same place that he met her. He met Chioma on social media. Now he wants her to stop using social media, and he wants her to be a domestic girlfriend, clean the house and everything. And bear in mind, Chioma also has her own business, and also Chioma is an influencer, so she uses her social media for business, and he wants her to shut it down. And also he got so agitated that he walked out, or where Deborah was telling Jamal that he has to buy her really expensive gifts. Like, she was making it like, you have to buy me this is how I would know that you love me. Guys, if you haven't watched this, go watch it. If you have, please leave me comments. I want to know your views. I want to actually hear like different views. Maybe I could be wrong. This is actually my own view of the whole situation. I want to actually see what you guys think about these two interesting couples. Leave me a comment, and if you haven't subscribed, this would be a really good time to click that subscribe button, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. See you in my next video. Bye.